Welcome to the Nothing Else Mattress Show. Guest today is Matt Spence, CEO founder.
Yes.
Man, I'm so thankful to have you here today. In beautiful Bentonville, Arkansas, another on-site location. Matt has a wealth of knowledge about franchising, entrepreneurship, family priorities. I can't wait to hear what all he's got to share with us today. The Nothing Else Mattress Show starts now.
When we started out, it was just about providing for our families while being in the driver's seat of our careers. I started in the mattress industry in 1999, and when I left the corporate world and Joe and I opened the Big Mattress Outlet in 2012, we could never have dreamed how rewarding business ownership would be for us.
My only regret is that we didn't do this sooner. I was terrified to make that jump, to leave the comfort of the corporate environment. As the old saying goes, I can promise you, the parachute's never going to open if you first don't jump.
We've built a proven business model that's unique in the industry. It's profitable year after year, even through fluctuating markets and economies. We want to work with like-minded entrepreneurs who, like us, don't mind a little hard work but want to own something that goes beyond just providing for our families financially. It offers exponential growth and profit opportunity, not to mention just a great culture and a really fun industry.
If you think you might be a fit, we'd love to talk to you.
Matt Smith, CEO, founder, Smith Mattress.
Yes.
This insanely fast-growing franchise nationwide. I am so pumped that you're here. We're in beautiful Bentonville. We're here for Sleep Summit, so it's been a great week so far.
It's been an amazing week.
It has. But this is like one of my new favorite towns.
I couldn't agree more. I was just telling Kensley that this morning that I'm like, I don't go to most places for more than 2 days anymore. It's just one of my rules. And now I get business done.
Right.
For some reason, Bentonville, I like to stick. I like to get on scooters. I like to enjoy this weather. It's just a cool area. They're just doing so. Every time I come, it's so different.
Yeah, we're here. It's October. We walked out this morning. It's like it's crisp but not cool. It's just perfect.
Yeah.
And it's just beautiful. And the group of people we have here this week, just industry gurus and masterminds and sort of people like yourself.
People like yourself.
Well, thank you.
I got to say, I'm just honored to be on this thing because you're one of my favorite humans on the planet and in this industry. You're doing some awesome things. And you won the championship yesterday of presentations, by the way. Little brag. Crush it.
Yeah, it was a little fun. So we did like a pitch off. So a bunch of us, I don't know, it's 14, 15, it's a bunch of us that had 3 minutes to pitch our business idea and what we do, whatever. And so obviously, BMO franchise was the subject of ours. And yeah, we tied it into like a race car and race team and pit crew. And, I was up there with the helmet and gloves and the fire suit. It was awesome.
Yeah.
A whole lot of fun. There'll be a video on that somewhere around, floating around, I'm sure.
Put it in.
But Matt, tell me, because I love your story. I love where you came from, how you got where you are now. You're such a serial entrepreneur, but I love your just go-get-it attitude. Talk about your background and how all this kind of started.
Yeah, I mean, long story short, I think I was, raised by a single mom and really didn't understand money, but I always wanted to figure it out. I was always curious on how that worked because I didn't have it. But what I didn't have for money, my mom definitely made up with them. She was the most amazing woman with planet Earth. So in love and just sincerity. But I didn't know what I didn't know. But really, I got into the mattress business at 19. I was selling cell phones inside of Walmart kiosks. I got recruited to the mattress business. I was trying to go to college, but I was really bad at college. ADD in college was tough. Long story short, I mean, I got my first commission check and I thought I was the richest 19-year-old on planet Earth. And I was like, oh, okay. And I started investing. I got into real estate. At about 25, the market kind of crashed in real estate in 2006, 2007. And that's when I got into franchising. A lot of franchise on San Fitness. And while I was selling mattresses by day, I got franchised. So I started to build a muscle of businesses. And at one point, I owned like 8 businesses at the same time: carpet cleaning, a tuxedo, a spa, gym, all this stuff. I just was like trying to figure it out,
And where's all this?
Pablo Colorado.
Yeah,
That's home base. And, fast forward, I helped a company go from 10 stores to 110 stores around the country. Loved the country. I love the company, never matched. I mean, still, I am who I am a lot because of just their culture and who they are. But I was, one life to live. So I kind of retired out of that when I had babies. Wanted to, be around for kids. It's my priority in life. And then I just had that itch. I said, you know what? I'm getting back. And Snooze was born really on a premise to help disrupt the franchise game because it could be a tough game, and then really also help disrupt the mattress game.
Yeah.
You guys are doing as well too. I just think I saw an industry of people chasing to the bottom and chasing like sale, all this stuff, and nobody just saying which or why. How do we talk about sleep development? Really getting into the sleep development of the future, and that's where Snooze was born. And then it's been, I wanted to be different from pajamas to mapping technology to mapping, every part of the body to doing different things about health and wellness. And by the way, we sell mattresses. Never wanted to be like the best mattress store out there. That was never my intention. Is how do we redefine, really raise the bar? I mean, so that's Snooze was born to try to make a little splash out there, but really high ties. I think when I think of this industry, I know how proud you are of this industry. It's like there's, I think, somewhere like $585 billion last year, I believe, was in sleep and health products, and $20 billion was in mattresses. That's a problem.
Yeah.
We're not talking about health and wellness enough. I met Grant Cardone, and he slept on a $700 mattress and had a $200,000 red light therapy machine in the syndrome. And he's a millionaire.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a problem.
Yeah.
We're not talking about sleep and health enough out there. And people are spending money on all these crazy gadgets to help health and wellness, but this is how we charge our batteries. So,
Yeah.
I can go on for hours about sleep.
Yeah, you can't see the gospel.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
And it's just, so yeah, that's where Snooze was born. And then franchising was just really, I had watched franchising, Bits and Bats and Uglies, and we started running, and I had never set out to open one or two stores. It was always to make the splash and, really 1,000 stores, 20 million people's lives, sleeping better. That's what we see every day at our place. And so we're headed.
You're doing that. So for clarity, you launched the franchising fairly recently.
Yeah.
Like 2020.
2021.
21. I was going to say 21.
3 years ago.
Yeah. And you already are up to how many on deck?
75 locations going, 70,
International now.
about 10 going international. 10 to maybe more than that. Well, starting with 10.
See?
But we got some exciting things. So we're in Ireland.
Ireland.
Yes. And I'm still really bad at my Irish accent. We went there last week. It was amazing to see what a difference it is out there. Just, well,
So well,
it's going to be fun.
congratulations on the success. And you breezed through a story really, really fast, but I'm going to slow some of it because a couple of things. I heard a story. You were on Mark Kinsley's podcast at one point, and I was hearing a story, like you stabbed, you were as a youngster. This was not an easy path for you.
Yeah.
There was a lot of challenges there.
Yeah, I did some dumb things. I was
As a kid, you
for a kid. Yeah. But yeah, I was stabbed, and I wrote a book called Serial Dadpreneur, and the whole premise of being stabbed was the best thing that ever happened to me because it really just opened my eyes. I was like, this is what you want. What are you doing in the hospital right now? And I'll never forget when I got stabbed. I was just in wrong place, wrong time, whatever. Call it whatever you want. I was at a party in New Year's of I think 98, and one thing led to another. There was a group of us, big group of these, a gang, and got stabbed. Spent a couple of days in the hospital because it was an inch away from my spine. And I'll never forget my grandma walking up to the door and shaking her head at me. Swap. And I was like, all right, time to grow up. And at that point, I got in the mattress business. I never got to fight again. And I was like, time to grow up, and I really put that energy into entrepreneurship. I think I was always an adrenaline junkie. I always liked to jump out of airplanes, do crazy things.
Yeah.
I've always been that way. Now it's like, take that energy into parenting and entrepreneurship. So yeah, I didn't have an easy growing up, but I wouldn't have known otherwise. Like my mom was humbly, so it wasn't like I didn't know I didn't have money. Like there's a story that I tell it, I'll never forget. It's like one day we were driving home from church, and she gave her last $20 to a homeless guy. We get home and our power's out. And I remember as a kid, she just went, no problems. I get in on Friday. We're just going to have ghost stories, and we're going to get the lights out. And that's how I grew up. So I didn't know that I didn't have money. I didn't know that it was just.
She didn't find anything.
No, absolutely. She was so positive. And so just all the time, it was like, we're good.
I think where you get it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that was definitely my mom. No problems, just situations, and always solutions. So it's yes. So I wouldn't say it was a bad bringing up, but I would say I did some dumb things.
Yeah. Absolutely. You so I first met you at Dream Camp, another industry event a couple of years ago in Key West, and you were kind of speaking briefly about this show Undercover Billionaire that I had not watched before when it's time, but I was intrigued. It's like how long do I want to watch this? But this is actually if you've watched Undercover Billionaire, like season 2, maybe,
Yeah.
season 2 of Grant Cardone.
Yeah.
And I didn't know who Grant Cardone was.
Yeah.
But from your perspective, like, how was this? Because you watched the show, of course, I've been on reality TV too, and so sometimes things in reality aren't exactly the way they were on TV. But it seems like it was pretty.
It was
Pretty legit.
Yeah, it was 90%. I felt like it was. There was probably a few timelines and things that they messed with, but overall, it was brilliant. I mean, they came in with fake names, fake Instagrams, fake Facebooks, and you couldn't even find something wrong. They were so good at what they did from this undercover. And it
Right.
was probably 90 days to 150 days being campus following me everywhere I went. It was,
And what was the pretense of them following you?
So-
What's the storyline or something?
yeah, they told me that they Pueblo was a beat up town and they wanted to show that the American dream's still alive and that the Pueblo can be saved. And I was like, oh, I'm your uncle there. I love Pueblo and I'm the guy talking about Pueblo. So not only were they following me and Prince around, or Louis Curtis at the time, but they were following me and my family around. I don't even know if they turned the cameras on because they were following me for weeks and weeks and months. But really, that was just to make me think that they were following me.
Yeah.
So, but it was brilliant, and it was it was another life changing thing for me. It was like meeting Grant and it was just a blessing and an honor to be a part of that. But it was we built a business in 90 days, $5.5 million, and it was a hustle, and it was really 42 days. But it was that was all real. Like those were all real clients. Those all guys really paid us. We all started a business together, and it really opened doors to just, seeing a lot more out there.
Yeah.
And so it's been a huge honor. And it's weird still going to the airport. So someone's like, can I get a selfie? It's so weird. Everywhere, like people have seen the show, like they're like, hey.
Well, what struck me in the show as an outsider looking at it was how quickly you said yes to an idea, and that's a personality trait that you have. It's just say yes. I want that. Let's see what happens. No such thing as a mistake, right?
The answer is yes. The question's how.
Yes.
It's always been my thing. But I also think that, to your point, it was just a crazy time in life. Like I had opened 10 businesses, and they were all still in the town. They were still thriving. I think I owned 6 of them, but 7 of them at the time. And so I just had built the muscle of like betting on myself. So when somebody says, "Hey, we're going to do this," I'm like, "All right, put me in coach, figure it out." So it was just it's just another thing that I knew that whatever we figured out. And I remember he was in the Asahi Bowls. We were looking at apartments and we were looking at a marketing company. And I was like, the marketing company's going to teach me a lot of life. You know what I mean? If whatever happens here, I'm going to
I'm glad you do that. I was like, oh.
Yeah, me too. I didn't know what it was when he said that. He's like, what about Asahi Bowls? I'm like, what's this Asahi Bowl? It's like it was a California thing. We still don't have one in Pueblo.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, nobody in Georgia cares.
Yeah. I don't,
Not in North Georgia either.
Yeah.
Like,
For sure.
What is that, AKI?
Yeah. But I think, hanging out with Grant and since then, the billionaires, and like, it's been an eye-opening thing to see how different it is. But the thing that I also see that Grant taught me, for one best lesson, we're having coffee at a place like this in Pueblo, and he goes, the difference in your problems, my problems, Matt? I'm like, no, I have more zeros behind them, but they're the same problems. And the more you think about that, the more I'm like, he's so right. Like, think bigger. People think so like, yeah, I'm going to do this, but really, we all have people problems. We all have financial things. We always have something going on there. Why not have them with a bunch more zeros to helicopter and airplane? And that's really what it's done. And I think that it's been an incredible event for sure.
That's cool. But that kind of is a segue to something that I try to talk about with most guests because, as you know, my guests are usually pretty successful entrepreneurs. And so I'm always trying to inspire somebody who's out there, like, in a corporate environment or whatever, and they've got the hustle, they've got the grit, but they just are afraid to jump ship, and they see successful people like yourself, and they're like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
But to hear just all the same, like, I mean, you have the same fears that anybody does, but some of the mental challenges, talk about, like, over the years, how sometimes it's really scary to make big decisions.
Yeah, I think, I think, my positivity is a muscle. I think, it's the more times you do it, the more you're just like, all right, I'm going to get through this, whatever it is. And I think that but you have to build that. Like you have to fail, you either learn or you win, you don't fail. And we learn a lot, because that's a part of it. Like when you're going into uncharted territory, you're doing something different.
Sure.
And you also can't listen to everybody around you. You know what I mean? But I think, to your question, it's like what Nike says, just do it. It's like you're never ready to have a baby. If you don't wake up one day like, okay, I'm financially perfect and let's have a baby. Like you have a baby, you figure it out. You buy a house for the first time and you figure it out. You're terrified to sign that house and you're like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? What if I can't pay this mortgage?
Yeah.
Everybody remembers the first time you did that. And I think that is the same as entrepreneurship. But you gotta be all in. You gotta burn the boats. Entrepreneurship is not for the weak, it is not for the dipping your toe into the water and seeing if this works. If not, I have a backup plan. entrepreneurship is you bring that boat and you, whatever happens, you don't quit until you get to whatever you want. And you just, and that's, I don't think that's built for everybody. But when you jump in, you got to be, make sure that you're all in and that you don't sleep at night until you figure this out. Because, selling franchise is one of the hardest things for me was that.
Yeah.
I was trying to interview that. You know what I mean? Because, our three non-negotiables we talked about, you got to be a good human, you got to have grit, you got to be coachable. If you're those three things, I could tell you franchise and we could do a lot of special things together. But if you're missing any of those, this will not work.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to do this with people I don't like that aren't good people. And grit is the hardest one to interview because some people are like, oh, they're great. They're going to sell people like this, but they don't put in work, and as a franchisor, we don't own the business, and you're learning as you're growing, you're crushing it out there. But it's like, ultimately, if you own the business, you can hire and fire and change everything. But when you don't, you're betting on somebody else to put in that work. And it's a different game, 100%. But, I think from put in the work, just do it. I think if you're thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, there's no better time than now. You know what I mean? The present is the time to just jump and figure it out.
Let's do it.
Start learning the muscle and know that you're part of it.
And you used the phrase earlier that means a lot, just have faith in yourself. Bet on yourself.
Bet on yourself.
Yeah, you don't have to have the whole thing mapped out. I'm kind of like you. I just, kind of jump in. It's like, hey, it's going to do, let's do this. I don't have to have all, there's no,
Yeah.
but you're figuring out along the way.
100%. And that's the fun part. That's the part that you and I are built for. And it's like to figure things out and the unknown is what keeps me going every day. But there's also there's cheat codes out there. There's now AI that we went through yesterday. There's Google. There's everything that you need to run your business or start a business or whatever you want to do. Yeah. There's a path on how to do it, but you got to have the grit, and
this is the greatest time, I think, ever 100%. To get into to business if you want to be an entrepreneur. I mean, the tools that are available that at your disposal, like AI, you either have an assistant that does things for you, but you can just use AI. It means 12 times as productive. So you don't have to hire a big staff and just learn how to master. For those who are against the idea of AI, maybe it's happening one or the other. It's like internet sales. You can keep up and you can figure out how to work with it or get left behind, but it's happening.
It is. It's crazy, and yesterday we talked about where you could do the avatar of yourself. So I learned this about 2 weeks ago. And it's so funny because I was building in my office and my daughter comes over and she's like, why'd you record yourself when I played it? And she's like, okay. And I was like, that's not me. She's like, what? And I was like, that's an avatar. And she didn't know that any different. She thought that was me. And I had him talking to
her.
My own daughter did not know that wasn't me on my computer. Wow. That's the future. It was creepy. And that's what they talked about yesterday. And it is coming. And to your point, you can't just pretend it's not there.
Yeah, well, one of the speakers was, this was in line with me because we've really been trying to embrace AI. Joe's mastered it, he's learned, and Joe's like a master when it comes to working for cars and stuff like that. But he said, when he has a question, instead of going to YouTube now or Google, he just asks chat and then, do a little fact checking, but still, he's learning stuff that way. Anyway, like the guy yesterday, the speaker was talking about just on his commute to work, how he'll use that time to write emails.
Yeah.
And he's got his app up and he's just having a conversation with, might as well be a virtual assistant. Write an email to Matt Smith. Let's talk. Here's the bullet points. Say something cool about his kids and his family and ask how everybody's doing. How do you enjoy the Bentonville trip? Sign it. And it's like a secretary.
It's better, because I'm not really good with grammar and all that other stuff. It makes me really makes me a little bit too smart. I'm like, yeah, I like that, but it really is it is incredible. But I now write my emails and my memos and stuff in ChatGPT, and I started with clean this up, and then I'll just write my whole thing, and then it cleans it up, and then I just kind of paste it. I don't even do it the other way because it's incredible.
It makes you so much better.
Yeah.
It's a scary tool.
Yeah, it is. It's scary to see how far that's going to go and how fast that's going to go.
It is, but you can come up with business plans. You can overcome hurdles. You can come up with business ideas and just the possibilities of anything that you could ask an expert. If you had an expert in front of you, said, hey, we're an attorney and you're a franchise attorney and I need advice on such and such. Now, it's going to preface it by saying we can't get legal advice or whatever it is.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
It's really, really fascinating.
100%.
Yeah, I love the growth. So what's on the horizon for Snoot? You guys are full speed ahead, I know. You got international we talked about.
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, we're going we're going everywhere, and that's what the fun part is. Like, I think we're approved in almost every state. We have to refile all the time, as you know, but we're just growing with the right people. I think we've slowed down our growth, but sped up our growth. We've really tried to, we're bringing the right people. I think that is the key to making it successful, finding the right people and vetting them. I personally talk to everybody that comes into the system. I get to know them and their families, and that's important to me to make sure that we're not just selling franchises and, throwing it out there and hoping it works. Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I mean, it really is. And then I think, Snooze is a brand. We're doing a lot more. We just launched on Macy's and HomeDepot.com and Lowe's.com. We're launching the name Snooze. I want when you think of Snooze and you see the clock, or when your alarm goes off every morning, I want you to think of sleep and overall health and wellness, and really have those health and wellness. We're at Snooze Fest that we have 2 weeks from now. I'm gonna be launching a lot of new products that I kind of talk about, but there's some really cool stuff that really is about. It's just health and wellness. It really is. People don't know what they don't know. And our job is to figure that out, help them understand that, and I think so for me, it's like, from a franchise standpoint, we want to grow the brand and the name and help this industry grow. Like, we don't have any desire to take from the pie. We want to grow this pie. Like, it's always, if we go to a community, and there is, like, we're going to communities of people that we all love and know, and it's like, we all have to, like, work together to win here. So I guarantee when they come from our store, they're not looking for a $299 bed, and they're not chasing the bottom saying, where's my free delivery, where's that? It's not who we are. It's just not what we do. So it is about, like, how do we get that 20 billion to 30 billion to 40 billion, and even doing sleep apnea and being able to do some stuff in the stores, and we can do Medicaid, Medicare, insurance, and different things like that. Where if you look at the stat on last I read was like 80% of Americans that have sleep apnea go untreated or undiagnosed.
Yeah.
Percent.
Yeah. And you don't have sleep apnea, so
and like the people are embarrassed, so they don't do anything about it or whatever it is. But we have to. Like, you can add 10 years onto their life, or you can add energy onto them to be a better parent or whatever it is. Just by having conversations. Sleep's important.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a subject we're super passionate about. And I love your strategy, like your attitude. And some of this may have come from Grant Cardone. It sounds like you kind of had this anyway, like this little 10X mentality.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, your goal is not just to, hey, I'm going to open 2 or 3 and see where it goes. It's like from the get-go.
100%.
Yeah.
We're going, and we're, that has always been my, my thing is, and I think that's, with that comes a lot of stress. My own team sometimes is like, we haven't really mastered United States. Why are we going there? It's like, you know what I mean? But it is, you do figure it out, and you do strengthen, we hire the right people and continue to see a gap and fill that gap with somebody in our systems and stuff. But, we run, and with that comes, but there's no manual for where we're going. So that's the fun part for me. Like, there's nothing, you can't just read a book and go, oh, this is how it's like read a parenting book.
But now I've noticed about you, you're right. You guys say, your master's at just figuring out as you go, but also you surround yourself with an excellent team.
Mm.
Like, I mean, you recruit the right people because you recognize the value of.
I absolutely am the dumbest guy on our team by far. Like, I have the smartest, most brilliant, beautiful souls. Like, they kill themselves for Snooze. And I'm honored to be on the team with the people that we do have out there. But really, yeah, I mean, I could sit through list all of them, but I am just, my team is, they are it. Like, yeah, they are the success of Snooze and continue to hustle and grind, and they understand where we're going. And it's like, it's a lot, they all knew what they signed up for. Now, one of my interview questions nowadays when I recruit people or find it is like, can you play in chaos? You know what I mean? And I hate to do that, but some people are just not born for that. They need a 9 to 5. They need to know what their job is. They need to go home when they're done and know if they completed it.
Yeah.
That is not working for Snooze. If you're looking for that, this is not going to be for you. But if you like the art of the pivot and every day you don't know what you're going to get into, but this is your job, but you might have to do this sometimes, or this is the greatest thing ever. So it's just, we've lost good people because of that. And that was one of my things that I've learned my own self was, okay, I got to make sure that we set this up front and hire people that like a little bit.
In that.
They enjoy that.
They thrive in that.
Thrive in not necessarily chaos, but good chaos. Like beauty. Like, I love not knowing what's next.
Yeah.
Some people can't handle that.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. And I'm a deadline kind of person. Like, my deadline's in 2 hours. Yeah.
Exactly. 100%. I'll start that then. And not everybody's built that way. And I think that's, you gotta find the right people.
But I love also that you set out to prioritize your family, and I see you do that. Like, that's something you don't just preach but then go spend all your time with your business. You really and truly do prioritize your family. You got a beautiful family. Your kids are beautiful.
Thank you.
And your dad, you're there with them.
100%. That is, I tell her like this all this other stuff is noise. This is all fun and I love it. If it all fails, whatever. I had the time of my life, but being a dad is like that's what I was put on planet Earth for, and I think I appreciate you saying that because it is like this industry sometimes can be hard. And if you look at some of the old school people in this industry, they grew up on golf courses drinking beer while their wife were raising their kids, and I saw that, and I never had a dad, so I was never allowed. I will never not be at a kids game now because I never had that. I never got into that, so I probably overcompensate, but it's what life's about, like family first and really protecting what matters most in this whole scheme of things. And I have the coolest kids, Parker Kids, the best in the planet Earth. They're just amazing. I'm just to be their parents. And I appreciate that, but that is
And a beautiful supportive wife. Judy,
so great.
she's a great mom. She's a great partner.
Yeah, she's doing real estate. She loves this stuff. She's putting together Snooze Fest right now. And she's just an incredible, that's important. Finding the right person in life, as you and Joe, you got it.
I know. Yeah, it is. And then not many couples can work together day in, day out, but it's made Joe and I better. And we're better people. We're a better team. We're better together than the two of us apart.
Yeah.
We got to get back over to Sleep Summit. I think we're starting up here in a few minutes.
Is it that time?
It's getting close. But man, thank you so much for getting up a few minutes early. Sitting out here in this beautiful Bentonville morning.
It is a beautiful morning. What's on the horizon for you? Here's my question then. What's next?
Yeah, we're the same. So, as you know, we launched franchising just recently. So we're behind the timetable that Snooze is on. But our first franchise opened in July. She's killing it, and I'm so proud. Couldn't be any more proud. We partnered with the right person. She's doing awesome. We've got some interest in some local territories. So my focus now is just on that. Somewhat slow expansion to start with. We want to open 3 or 4 in the next year because I want to personally hold that in, go. And then after that, man, it's
game on.
It's game on. It's gone. Game on. Let's rule the world. World domination.
There's a lot of things that we might have some synergy here, and we've talked about that.
So Mattress Alex Snooze.
There could be 100%. There is some stuff that we have a lot in common on something else. Just help change the world.
The business models are totally different. So what I love, you're so generous with your time, and I've learned so much from you just talking to you. We don't consider one another competitors. We'll be in the same town and we'd be completely different demographics, and everything we do is different, but they both have a story. It revolves around sleep.
And from franchising in general, like I think you've learned this, and I've learned this, is like franchising can be really tough. But what the cheat code that both of us have, if somebody's out there looking for franchises, is really, you buy a restaurant, or you buy you've got 50 employees, 30 employees, a lot of minimum wage, a lot of people that are turnover, and a lot of there's just a lot of moving parts, just a little margin at the bottom when it's all said and done, if you can get to that margin, and with us, it's like, you can have a couple of employees, and in our case, in pajamas, selling sleep every day, and you could be very high margins in our industry, and it becomes where you can work on that business versus in it. You're not stuck in the hustle and grind. So I do believe, like, some people like chicken, some people don't want to go to my gym, some people don't want to go eat breakfast, but everybody sleeps.
Yeah.
We're in an industry that everyone out there sleeps, so there really is a cheat code in both of our franchises for, anybody that might be looking for a franchise. Just really, it's fun, and you find a job you love, you never work a day in your life, same thing. Like, it's fun. You're helping people over in the community. We just sponsored the ice rink this week, so there have Snooze all over the ice rink, but then starting next week, we're going to give a mattress away. We thought they're going to have pillow fights on a mattress in the middle of the ice rink for every hockey game that they have. And then we'll give away something there. But it's like, this is so cool. Like, I love just doing something different and just getting hockey guys doing stuff. So it is a fun thing. So if you're looking for a franchise, there's nobody better.
Same.
That's the best.
Same.
Or just say
it. Yeah, same. But I'll say, tying it into the pitch thing that we did yesterday, because I think this applies to both of us. So the pitch that we did, what tied into the racing was that, we had like a whole video with a race car and all this stuff. But the whole idea was that, you see these racers, let's NASCAR. Okay, everybody's watched it, either if you're on NASCAR thing, you watch at the end of a race how the driver thanks all his sponsors. And we've all seen him come into the pit, and, he doesn't win the race by himself. He comes into the pit, and the crew's there, and they've got to execute, they've got to do everything. And the driver is the one behind the wheel, but he needs all of the rest of his team to make it work. He can't just get out there and do it all himself. And that's the beauty of being a franchise is you could be the best driver in the world. You can be the best entrepreneur in the world.
Right.
But if you don't have that big team behind you that can help you execute what you're able to do, it's just not nearly easy.
Yeah,
that's the beauty of a franchise.
I agree. When you gave that pitch yesterday, I was like, she's so right. That's such a great it's true. You know, Michael Jordan had a coach. Everybody's got a coach. And I think when you buy into a franchise, because a lot of people are like, well, I can do this on my own. You could, you know,
Good.
but really is with the buying power and with the branding and with the team that you get behind you, like you couldn't do that for the little royalty that you pay every month. You know,
Exactly.
you could get the team that you're going to get on the other side of it. So yeah, hats off to you for all you're doing. Push it out there
Great.
yesterday. So
Well, same to you, Matt. Appreciate you.
absolutely.
Let's get in here and learn some more stuff.
Let's do it.
All right. Oh.